Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining Get Pash-On-It. I'm your host, Jim Pashulitis, here for another episode. Sharing today for episode 2, the question I received in the last couple of weeks from a few people is about Social Security, the fun topic of Social Security retirement benefits. The question is, when should I apply to receive my Social Security retirement benefits? So the answer is, it depends. If it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. In fact, one of the research studies that was done a few years ago had found that up to 96% of people don't optimize their Social Security benefits. So it is a concern for most of us. So you're not alone, and we want to adjust that number so that it's the other way around. 96% of people do optimize their Social Security benefits. So in order to do so, we need to consider 4 things. More than this, but these are the top 4 things that we should consider. Your full retirement age, FRA is also known as, your life expectancy, your earnings record, and your benefit options like spousal, survivor, and so on. So as far as this video is concerned, to go in depth on all of these issues could be very timely, but also it would also probably confuse you if we go into all of them. So we will hold off on the spousal and survivor benefit idea. We'll hold off on your earnings record, other than saying it's the average of your 35 years, your top 35 years of income, and then it generates some number for determining what your benefit would be at retirement. And we'll go into that a little bit more. But your life expectancy is something also that can be calculated right on Social Security website. I will share with you another time the life expectancy tab that's found in there. But we're going to use some assumptions today to figure out what is in your best interest as far as calculating when to take your benefit. So the big thing we'll deal with is your full retirement age. So to do that, if I will share your Social Security or SSA.gov website. This is right on there. And it has a table where it discusses, based on your date of birth, what your full retirement age is. So you can see the chart here. And for today's example, hypothetical, we're going to use age 67 as the full retirement age for an individual. All right, so born 1960 or later, that would be your full retirement age. So in the scenario that I have decided to share with you to kind of make the numbers make more sense, because what will happen is there is a percentage of what happens depending on when you take it. So what does that mean? Well, let's take a quick look at this graphic. And you can see if you waited till your full retirement age in this hypothetical and the person's 67 years old, they would get 100% of whatever benefit they're entitled to. So that has a term called PIA, primary insurance amount. And again, I don't want to get into the minutia of it, but it is a dollar amount that gets calculated. If you choose to wait till 67, you get all of it. If you choose, as some people do, to go earlier, so you can start to receive it at 62, as early as age 62, you would get a reduction. And that would be a 70% of the full benefit you were entitled to. So that's a loss of 30%. And as you get closer to your full retirement age, the percentage of the benefit gets closer and closer to 100%. You even have the option to wait till as late as 70 years old to collect, and the percentage would go up to 124%. So obviously that's an increase of what you were entitled to if you did it at 67. So wow, that's a lot of numbers. So what does that mean if I gave you a better example of an actual scenario? So let me, excuse me, get rid of that. And I will share a hypothetical Excel scenario. So let's assume that a person has this PIA, this earning dollar amount of $2,000 a month if they waited for their full retirement age of 67. Well, at 67, that's the easy number. They're going to receive all that benefit each month. But if you go and say, hey, like a lot of people that I see tell me, hey, I can get it at 62. I'm just going to get it right then because I don't want to work any longer. I'm done. I want to get something. So you have the ability to do it, but you would be receiving $1,400 as opposed to $2,000 a month for the beginning of that and throughout the rest of your time as you receive. And if you waited till 70, then you actually your benefit would be as high as $2,480 a month in this scenario. So the question is, obviously, what makes sense? How do we determine which one is right for ourselves as individuals? Well, let's just do a quick calculation. Let's say you did receive at 62 and you're getting $1,400 a month. Well, that's 5 years that you're receiving income from Social Security. Okay. 5 more years than if you waited till 67. When you calculate that money, it yields $84,000 for those 5 years that you've earned this $1,400 a month. Now, if you waited till 67, and we're going to talk about something called a break-even point, you would be getting $2,000 a month starting at age 67, and then you'd be moving forward. Well, how long would it take for you to get or break even to the $84,000 that you would have gotten if you started at 62? Well, when you calculate that, you have an increase of $600 a month, $600 more a month starting at 67. And it would take approximately 11 and a half years to make up that $84,000 that you did not start getting when you were 62. So you would be 11 and a half years from 67 would be 78 and a half years old. So you then have to figure out, well, what's my life expectancy? You can figure that out as well on Social Security, SSA.gov, on their website. There is a life expectancy calculator. It does not take into effect your family history or anything like that. But you can put it in your basic info and they'll tell you what yours is. Mine ended up saying 84 years old. Whether or not that happens, I'm not sure, but we'll just assume 84 years old. That means from the age of 78 and a half, when I would have broken even, I would make an additional $600 a month for those 5.5 years till I become 84, and that would be an additional almost $40,000. So the question mark is it worth waiting or not on receiving the benefit? So unfortunately, that's not an answer I can give you. That's not an answer anyone really can give you. The question is, what do you think? Which one would help your family more? And other factors might come into play that help you make that decision. But that is the math behind what would go into place, would take place in trying to prepare and say, okay, I'm going to wait until blank years old to start getting my insurance, or excuse me, my Social Security income, retirement income benefits. So I hope that helps. I'm sure it probably generates some more questions, so please enter them in the comments. If you found this interesting and helpful, share, like, comments, pass it on to someone who could use it. As always, if you have any questions, send it to Get Pash-On-It, and see you next time. Take care.